What's up, everyone? I have a little bit of downtime right now with this knee injury that I've had surgery 6 weeks ago. Thought it would be healed right now, but it's taken a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I figured I would give a little insight into my last video part, which was X Games. And there was a lot of clips in there that were a big struggle, a lot of things that went on behind the scenes, and a lot of cool stories that made it that much more gratifying when it came to fruition. The first clip, I was really excited to get a couple street clips in this part. I wanted to film it like my old neural disorder parts. When I was younger, even when I was racing, I rode a ton of street because it was the most accessible thing to just leave from my house when I didn't have a car and go ride. And nowadays, I feel like that's trail riding, which is pretty cool for mountain biking, and you can just leave from your house and go essentially street ride on the trails. So I made it a huge goal to make a couple street clips in my X Games part, but there's not that much room. It's only 90 seconds, so they had to be super worthy and not in there just because they're street. They had to be, super heavy. Coolest things to happen in BMX recently for any video part, I think, is the Dennis Enarson roof drop and him tail whipping it. It even made it in his video part for the demolition video, I believe it was, like 2 years prior, just straight airing it, which shows how heavy it is. Couldn't thank Christian Regal enough. It turns out it's in Northern California. Reached out, found out that Christian knew where it was. He actually filmed it. He's the one that found it. And he was nice enough to kind of hand over the keys to that one. Apparently there was a BMXer that was supposed to try it prior to that, and I think he might have ended up getting hurt before he had the opportunity anyway. So we made a plan to go there. He met us there with Corey Martinez, one of my favorite street riders of all time. My brother's probably his biggest fan. And to show up with the two of them there to film a clip 10 years after I even have ridden street was pretty special, and to be doing something that would be worthy for them to be stoked on. This was the last clip we filmed from my X Games part, but it ended up being the first one. I had the vision of, we had the titles on the roof. Snuck in a Sensus logo, even though you're not supposed to, but I feel like that's the perfect opening clip. I got there and climbed up on the roof and wasn't too worried about straight airing at first time. Just drop right off of it. Suspension wasn't even set up nearly as stiff as it should have been. Bottomed that thing out. Pretty much hit the rims on the ground because I probably only had like 40 PSI in the tires. And I was like, holy crap, this thing is heavy. Usually it makes you more comfortable, but then when you know that you're gonna go do something like a flat flip, then you straight air it, and you're like, this thing is so gnarly on its own, just a straight air. And then to think about how slow you have to go to flat flip and not go to the bottom, worry about hitting your head or your wheel on the end of the roof or on the fence. And the fence is only 6-7 foot away from the roof. So this is, by the time you clear the fence with a safe gap, you're going a 20-foot drop, and then it's only an 8-foot, 9-foot gap. So if we were to build that in Utah, we would build the landing a lot steeper. So it's flat, it's raw, it's street. There's a little drop at the bottom of the landing and the run out. But it's the most perfect roof drop ever because there's no rain gutter. It's perfectly flat off the end. So there's just that bit of adversity with the fence and how slow you have to go. So I still can't believe he jumped that thing on a 20. Okay, apparently that spot is extremely windy, notorious for being windy. This was a heavy one. My brake wasn't working. I just built up a fresh bike. I hadn't done a flat flip in years. Went out to my property to the mulch drop, fresh bike build. Did a couple. All right, still got it, but then didn't realize that my brake wasn't really working too well. So we went to Santa Cruz, got another clip or two. Lee Farola, Bigley and Littley, father and son, helped me with the bike. Got the brake working good. Got our clips in Santa Cruz. Came back on the way through, and it was probably one of the biggest mental struggles I've ever had. I mean, because I would never build a drop like that, and I wouldn't be on a course of it being that slow. I was tripping because I thought I was going to hit my head or my front wheel on the edge of the roof or on the fence on the way down. So you could see in the actual clip, I didn't even intend to do this, but I started going like right. I started turning right to give myself a little bit more of a gap. Those are the amazing subconscious moments that I love. The subconscious brake tap or something like when something like that happens. But I had no intention of going right. And my subconscious was just like, this is safer. It lengthens the gap, makes it a little bit harder of a landing. And that's why I skid out on the landing because I'm going a little crooked. But it gave me a little bit more margin for not hitting my head or my front wheel on the fence or the roof, because that would be game over. Realized dead, whatever. So we were able to knock that thing down, and it was yeah, that's one of the clips, that one of the things I'm the most proud of, especially the little piece of my heart from street riding that I haven't really ridden street in over a decade, and then to be able to come out and do something that all the 20 inchers are stoked about, yeah, do something worthy on street after such a big hiatus and just sticking to dirt. So thanks for watching, and then I might be doing another one or two of these on another clip from there, like the personal struggle with the cash roll on the same jump. Took me out of 17 rampage, popped my shoulder out, got that 3 drop that 450'd and 16, on and on. So I might be doing a couple more of these, so stay tuned, but thanks for watching.